I was the laughingstock of the entire school, an S rank with the most useless class, a talisman specialist. But in just 3 days, I prepared 100,000 explosive talismans, all to kill a single boss that no one dared to touch. Everyone was mocking me, saying I was walking to my death. Even my SS rank weapon mage girlfriend dumped me right there and ran into the arms of the young master of the dragon family. But what they didn't know was that my talismans didn't need any preparation or mana consumption. The moment a thought crossed my mind, thousands of talismans would activate simultaneously. When I planted my 100,000th explosive talisman at the bottom of the well in the Dry Tree Town dungeon, I said just one word. Boom. A devastating explosion erupted. A mushroom cloud rose to the sky. I shot straight from level 0 to level 10, and that woman who had once rejected me, holding her new lover's hand, stood outside the auction house thinking she might get some scraps from the items I had sold. At that moment, the mustached principal was speaking in a grave voice on stage. After your class awakens, you will all become extraordinary individuals. You must protect people, destroy evil, and reclaim humanity's lost lands. I hope you all obtain the powers you desire, and that your generation succeeds in reclaiming what was lost. But the students below weren't paying attention to any of this. For years, humans had been awakening their classes and growing stronger, but the monsters were growing stronger too. Reclaiming the lost lands seemed almost impossible. As for protecting people, sure, they could do it, but very few actually wanted to. Otherwise, the slums in this world would never have existed. Lu Yuan was one of those slum students, waiting today for his class awakening, hoping he would get some powerful class that could change his fate. Although he was someone who had come from another world, in this world beyond the high walls, monsters ruled. There were countless secret dungeons and dark lairs, and without supernatural power, no one could do anything. Soon, the students were sent into the awakening pod one by one. It was a transparent egg-shaped device about 3 meters tall, with mysterious runes glowing on its surface. Anyone who had reached the age of 18 could enter and awaken their class. Gao Yu, B-rank Berserker Warrior. Next, Wang Yan, C-rank Archer. The initial classes coming up were all ordinary, so no one paid much attention. But a while later, when Lu Shuang awakened as an SS rank weapon mage, the entire hall fell silent. What? SS rank? It's the first time anyone in our school has awakened an SS rank class. She's beautiful and so talented. Truly heaven's favorite, someone said. SS rank is great and all, but a weapon mage needs a lot of money to develop, another person said. She's from the slums. With such talent, some rich guy will sponsor her, and you know what they'll want in return. Shut up. Lu Yuan is standing right there. He's her boyfriend. Though the voice was low, Lu Yuan heard everything. Yes, Lu Shuang, who had just become an SS rank weapon mage, was his girlfriend. They had grown up together since childhood, and promised that whoever became stronger in the future would support the other. But now that she had obtained an SS rank class, was it even possible for him to surpass her? A while later, his turn came. Lu Yuan entered the awakening pod. A strange energy enveloped him. Countless mysterious symbols and talismans appeared before his eyes. He understood immediately. Talisman Specialist. And the next moment the announcement came. S-rank Talisman Specialist. Initial Talisman. Explosive Talisman. Awakening complete. But the moment the announcement was heard, disappointment appeared on the teachers' faces. Lu Yuan, S-rank Talisman Specialist. The Talisman Specialist was considered the most useless among all S-rank classes. Other S-rank classes could learn new skills, kill monsters, and obtain skill books. But a Talisman Specialist only got 1 talisman at the start, and then nothing. No new talisman had ever dropped from any monster. Other classes received new skills upon promotion, but even if a Talisman Specialist reached level 30, they wouldn't get any new skills. No one knew why. So in people's eyes, being an S-rank Talisman Specialist was worse than getting a C-rank class. Lu Yuan hadn't even had time to feel disappointed when suddenly a mechanical voice echoed in his mind. Congratulations! You have awakened the Talisman Specialist class. The class system has been activated. A deficiency has been found in the Talisman Specialist class. It is now being completed. The Talisman Specialist has evolved to EX rank. Passive ability 1. All talismans will activate instantly without preparation and require no mana. Passive ability 2. Every 5 levels gained, a new talisman will be obtained. Hearing these messages, Lu Yuan understood. His golden opportunity had finally arrived. When Lu Yuan finished his awakening process and was thinking about going home with Lu Shangshang to discuss future plans, Lu Shangshang came to him herself. Lu Yuan clearly saw hesitation and discomfort on her face. His heart sank. Something was wrong. Lu Shangshang stood before him in silence for almost half a minute. Then, as if she had made some big decision, she spoke in a low voice. Lu Yuan, let's break up. Her voice was soft, but the people around heard it, and all eyes turned to them. With so many people staring at her, Lu Shangshang's pale face turned red, but she didn't back down. She needed support. She needed a lot of money to develop her SS rank class. Could a talisman specialist like Lu Yuan earn money for her? Could he buy her equipment and skill books? No. She was searching her mind for words that wouldn't make her seem like the bad guy, but Lu Yuan's response was completely different from what she had imagined. He said calmly, just one word. Fine. Just one word, as if it were something completely insignificant. His calm demeanor even angered Lu Shangshang. She thought, were all these years of our relationship so meaningless to him, or was I just not attractive to him at all? She couldn't believe it and then said, what are you saying? Lu Yuan looked at her calmly and said, you want to break up. I'm respecting your wish. What's the problem? She hadn't expected this to happen to her one day, but since she had chosen this path, there was no reason for him to stop her. Even if he didn't have a system, even if he truly was a useless person, he would still give this answer, because in his view, someone who leaves during hard times isn't worth staying with. All the long excuses Lu Shangshang had prepared became useless. Finally, she gritted her teeth and said, Lu Yuan, I hope you won't blame me. We're from different worlds now. Forcing ourselves to stay together won't make anyone happy. Lu Yuan shook his head. Blame you? No. As you said, we really are from different worlds now. Saying this, he turned and started to leave. Just then, a young man in fashionable clothes stepped in front of him. Arrogance was clearly visible on his face. He smiled and said, Lu Yu, I already told you that being good at studying alone is useless. After graduation, people show their true worth. For Shangshang's sake, if you want, you can work as a security guard at our house. This young man was Long Hao Chen, the young master of the dragon family. He had proposed to Lu Shangshang many times before, but was rejected every time. But now, for money and future, she had accepted his proposal. In reality, Lu Shangshang had trusted Lu Yuan before. He was always first in school. She had hoped he would awaken some powerful class too. If that had happened, he would definitely work hard for her and support her. But when she saw that Lu Yuan's class was S-rank talisman specialist, she immediately changed her mind. Because in everyone's eyes, this was the most useless S-rank class. So she accepted Long Hao Chen's proposal without hesitation. Now, when Long Hao Chen was humiliating Lu Yuan, she didn't stop him. Instead, she went to his side and whispered, Hao Chen, let's go. People around were whispering, shut up, do you want to die? Lu Shangshang is an SS rank weapon mage now, don't you dare speak ill of her. But Lu Yuan didn't pay attention to any of them. To him, these people were just passers-by on the road. He went straight back to his home in the slums. The walls of the house had cracks. This small house was the only inheritance from his parents. His mother had died of illness when he was only 5 years old. The slums didn't have good medical facilities. His father had left him when he was 12. He had gone hunting with Lu Shangshang's father. In that expedition, his father had died, and Lu Shangshang's father was severely injured. After that, he never had the courage to hunt again, and started working as an ordinary laborer in the city. Lu Yuan had survived until today, because the guild government covered children's education and living expenses until they turned 18. But once they turned 18, everyone had to become self-sufficient, because by then their class would have awakened. Returning home, Lu Yuan sat on the old torn sofa and started planning for the next day. Suddenly, he remembered a place. Maybe that was the most suitable location. He remembered that once, Uncle Leo had told him about a special dungeon. Its name was Dry Tree Town, Kumu Town. It was a level 30 special dungeon. There were no ordinary monsters inside. There was only one boss. Deep inside a well, the boss itself wouldn't attack anyone, but if someone attacked it, it would emerge from the well and start hunting. Its power was terrifyingly strong. No one below level 30 could defeat it. Many level 30 extraordinary warriors had tried to kill it together, but all failed, and those who had reached above level 30 and changed their class couldn't even enter that dungeon. So to this day, no one had been able to kill it. Lu Yuan's eyes lit up. A boss that gives me time to prepare. If I don't kill it, that would be unfair to it. Then he clenched his fist. It's also time to take revenge. His current talisman was the explosive talisman. It would only detonate when he commanded it. This meant he could prepare 100,000 talismans in advance. He said to himself, 100,000 explosive talismans. Any boss before the first class change would be reduced to ashes. Explosive talismans couldn't be stored forever. They had a time limit. 6 hours. Other talismans had the same limit. If this limit didn't exist, talisman specialists would never be considered weaker than other classes. For other talisman specialists, it wasn't possible to make too many talismans in 6 hours, because they had to slowly draw symbols in the air, chant mantras, and expend their mana. But Lu Yuan was different. He only needed to think in his mind, and the talismans would create themselves. In 1 second, he could make about 10 explosive talismans. That night, he slept comfortably. The next morning, he arrived at the southern gate of Zhuqing City. The soldier guarding the gate asked, "Little brother, where are you going?" Outside the city, there were many paths. Safe paths led to various dungeons. There were no monsters around them, and they were considered the best places for training because the monster behavior there followed set rules, and veterans had left detailed strategies for them. On the other hand, wild zones were extremely dangerous. The monster behavior there was unpredictable. So people before their first class change were generally not allowed to go there. Seeing Lu Yuan, the soldier understood he was a new graduate. He asked, "Are you going to the third dungeon zone?" Lu Yuan nodded. Yes. The soldier immediately opened the gate. Outside the gate, a bus ran directly. There were already 5 or 6 people sitting in the bus. Some people recognized Lu Yuan. Seeing him alone, they were surprised. They were thinking, is he really going training alone? But no one said anything. Lu Yuan went and sat quietly. A few minutes later, 2 more people came. Then the bus departed on time. Half an hour later, they arrived at the third dungeon zone. There were many dungeons here, but in front of one dungeon, there was absolutely no crowd. That was Dry Tree Town, Kumu Town. This was Lu Yuan's target. He headed straight for it, but just then, he saw 2 familiar people coming toward him. Long Hao Chen, Lu Shangshang, and behind them, a middle-aged man. It was clear he had come to train them. Long Hao Chen laughed and said, "Lu Yuan, I didn't expect you'd have the guts to come here alone. Don't let some monster eat you before your talismans are even ready. Don't you want to live?" Lu Yuan gave no response. He understood they were just here to mock him. Then Long Hao Chen spoke again. "If you have the guts, let's compete. Let's see who reaches class change first." Lu Yuan asked, "What are the stakes?" Long Hao Chen smiled. "If you win, I'll give you 1 million. If you lose, you just have to kneel before me and bow your head." Lu Yuan said calmly, 1 million is no big deal to me. In 1 month, there will be a school reunion. Whoever loses will kneel and bow their head before the entire school." Long Hao Chen was happy at first, but then Lu Shangshang said, "How can anyone reach class change in 1 month?" Hearing this, Long Hao Chen remembered that the first class change happened at level 30. Reaching there in 1 month was almost impossible. He immediately said, "Lu Yuan, you're very clever. Fine. In 1 month, whoever has the higher level will be the winner." Lu Yuan immediately replied, "Agreed." He looked at Lu Shangshang with cold eyes. He was truly happy now that their relationship was over, because her words just now had exactly shown her true colors. She wanted him to lose. Long Hao Chen laughed and said, "See you in a month. I hope you won't run away by then." After this, the 2 of them went toward their training area. Lu Yuan watched them leave and chuckled lightly. Then he headed alone toward Kumu Town. There was no line there. He went to the front of the dungeon and read the information. Kumu Town, recommended level 30, team mode, duo mode, solo mode. Lu Yuan chose solo mode without hesitation. The next moment, a beam of light fell on him. Darkness covered his eyes. When he opened them again, he was standing in a deserted town. There was terrifying silence all around. No human sounds, no birds, no insects. At that moment, his system's voice echoed. "An extremely dangerous creature has been detected nearby. Killing it will grant a special reward. Reward, Heavenly Master Jade Pendant." Lu Yuan smiled. "So the system has missions too. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone." They soon reached the old well located in the center of the town. Inside the well was deep darkness, so deep that nothing could be seen below. Lu Yuan raised his finger. The next moment, hundreds of explosive talismans flew out from his fingers and fell into the well. This work was extremely tedious, but he didn't show the slightest carelessness. He didn't want to take any risks with this boss. The well was so deep that even after throwing talismans continuously for 5 hours, he couldn't see the accumulated talismans below, but he was completely confident. In 5 hours, he had accumulated more than 100,000 explosive talismans. The number of explosive talismans continuously made over 5 hours had definitely exceeded 100,000, but Lu Yuan didn't activate them immediately. He first went outside the village. Although his own talisman's explosion couldn't harm him, he still didn't want to take any kind of risk. If the boss below survived, he would be the one to die. Even if the chance was 1 in 100,000, He had to be careful, because at this moment he was still extremely weak. After reaching outside the village, he turned back to look. The dungeon entrance was visible in the distance. If the boss survived the explosion, he would immediately run out without looking back. Lu Yuan formed a mantra seal with one hand and said softly, "Explode." The moment the word left his mouth, it became as effective as a law. Boom! An ear-splitting explosion echoed throughout Kumatown. Lu Yuan saw with his own eyes a massive mushroom cloud flying into the sky. At that very moment, a sweet female voice echoed in his mind. This was not the system's mechanical voice. Level 30 Kumatown boss. Well-poisoned dragon. Successfully killed. 6,000 experience points obtained. After this, continuous notifications started coming. Congratulations, you have reached level 1. Congratulations, you have reached level 2. Congratulations, you have reached level 3. Congratulations, you have reached level 10. 6,000 experience points had shot him straight to level 10. For ordinary people, reaching level 10 would take many days, even if someone was training them, but Lu Yuan had done it in just a few moments. After this, new notifications appeared. First kill reward: Jiaolong magic staff, fire-resistant magic robe, Jiaolong sword, Jiaolong armor. All these items automatically went into his class bag. When a person's class awakened, they received a special bag. Items dropped by monsters would automatically go into it. After this, a new system notification came. Mission complete. Reward: Heavenly Master Jade Pendant. Effect: only wearable by talisman specialists. Can hide your level and information. All talisman power increased by 200%. Because he had reached level 10, his second ability was also activated. He obtained 2 new talismans. Swift Speed. When applied to feet, speed increases by 500%. Duration: 10 minutes. Healing. Instantly restores 50% of target's life force. Also removes all negative effects and debuffs. Now he had 3 talismans in total. Lu Yuan read their effects and laughed. An S-rank talisman specialist might be weak, but my EX-rank talisman specialist is not. He checked his status. Lu Yuan, age 18, class EX rank talisman specialist, level 10, life force 2000, strength 100, defense 100, agility 100, magic power 500, mana 1000. Available talismans: explosive talisman, swift speed talisman, healing talisman. Of these, the 2 new talismans were support types, but extremely useful. The swift speed talisman would help him create distance from fast monsters. The healing talisman could save his life in critical situations. After this, he equipped the Heavenly Master Jade Pendant. The moment he wore it, his presence was completely hidden. Even much more powerful people would only see him as an ordinary level 0 person. Then he started examining his new equipment. Jiaolong Magic Staff. Epic level. Level requirement 30. Class Mage. Magic power plus 200. Mana plus 1000. Magic skill damage plus 50%. Fire-resistant magic robe. Epic level. Defense plus 100. Fire resistance plus 50%. Special skill, Fire Block. Complete immunity to fire for 5 minutes. Jiaolong sword. Epic level. Strength plus 500. Combat skill plus 50%. Jiaolong armor. Epic level. Defense plus 300. Life plus 1000. Special skill, Thorns. Reflects 5% of damage dealt by enemies back to them. All 4 pieces were epic level, but Lu Yuan could only wear the fire-resistant magic robe. Although his stats weren't as impressive as the other equipment, its special skill was extremely powerful. Complete fire immunity for 5 minutes could prove invaluable in certain situations. The other 3 pieces were useless to him. He would sell them when he returned to the city. Epic-level equipment was worth hundreds of thousands. Under normal circumstances, a level 30 boss would only drop 1 epic item, but he had obtained 4 because this was a first kill. First kills granted additional rewards. After putting on the fire-resistant robe, he started looking like a modern-style comfortable jacket. The moment he exited the dungeon, many people around turned to look at him, because they remembered that just a few hours ago, this same young man had entered Kumatown alone at level 0. Many people had already assumed he was dead, but now he had returned safely. When Lu Yuan exited the dungeon, some people were still there. Seeing him, all eyes fixed on him, but when they saw that his displayed level was still showing 0, some people laughed. See? He was just putting on a show all along. Sat inside for a few hours and came back out. Who knows what the point of that was? People started mocking him, but Lu Yuan paid no attention to anyone. He cast his gaze on the dungeon where the fewest people were standing in line. He checked the time. It was already 2 in the afternoon. There was no point going anywhere else now. He went straight to that line and stood in it. Most people here were between level 10 and 20. Just then, a young man about 20 years old came to him and said, "Little brother, are you alone?" Lu Yuan nodded. "Yes," the young man said kindly. "You just awakened, right? It would be better to go with an experienced team, or go to a dungeon below level 10. You'll be safe there." Lu Yuan smiled. "Thanks, I'm just here to gain some experience." Hearing this, the young man was silent for a moment. Coming to a dungeon just to gain experience seemed strange to him, but in the end, this was Lu Yuan's decision. A while later, the four people in front of him entered together. It was clear they were entering as a team. When Lu Yuan's turn came, he read the information. Long Night Field, recommended level 20. Solo mode, duo mode, multi-person mode. Lu Yuan chose solo mode without any hesitation. A light fell on him, and the next moment he was in a vast grassland. It was night here. A full moon was shining in the sky. Walking in the field was easy, but as soon as he entered, Lu Yuan noticed something. Other class holders were visible here too. This was the difference between ordinary dungeons and special dungeons like Kumu Town. In Kumu Town, only one person could enter at a time. But here, everyone was in the same dungeon. Although after entering, new teams couldn't be formed. Everyone had to hunt monsters according to their own ability. There were many people in the lower level areas. Fewer people went to the higher level areas, but the experience was greater there, and so was the danger. Lu Yuan looked around and headed toward the depths of the field, because he could see that the further in you went, the higher the monster levels became. Most monsters here were wolves, and they roamed in packs. This was why ordinary people came here in teams. Lu Yuan applied a swift speed talisman to his feet. The next moment, he shot forward like a gust of wind. A 500% speed increase was so terrifying that the people fighting nearby couldn't even understand what had just passed by them. In no time, he reached the area with level 15 and above monsters. There was almost no one here. He saw a pack of wolves roaming ahead. They hadn't noticed him yet. Explosive talismans appeared in Lu Yuan's hands. He smiled and said, "Now it's time to start the hunt." One talisman after another flew toward the wolves. Although he was only level 10, because of his EX rank class, his growth rate was far higher than ordinary people. On top of that, the power of the Heavenly Master Jade Pendant was also added. One explosive talisman could kill about a level 15 monster. For safety, he used 2 talismans on each monster. He said softly, "Explode." Boom, boom, boom. Continuous explosions started ringing out. The wolves' bodies began flying through the air. System notifications started coming continuously. Level 15 Red Wolf killed, 50 experience. Level 16 Grey Wolf killed, 60 experience. Level 15 Black Wolf killed, 50 experience. Seeing these experience points, Lu Yuan muttered, "Killing ordinary monsters to level up is really slow. If an ordinary person heard this, they might die of anger." Because most level 10 people were afraid of level 7 or 8 monsters, and if they were in a pack, fighting them was considered suicide. Wherever wolves appeared, explosive talismans flew. Gradually, the wolves started understanding that they couldn't match him. They stopped attacking. Now they started running away. But this started bothering Lu Yuan, because now he had to chase after them and kill them. Still, experience slowly accumulated and his level kept rising. As he went deeper, the monster's strength also increased. 2 hours later, Lu Yuan had reached level 12. Reaching 2 levels in just 2 hours was a dream for ordinary people. But now he saw a new problem. He looked around. Not a single wolf was visible. They had all fled in fear. Lu Yuan shook his head helplessly. Forget it. Time to head back now. It had taken him about 2 hours to get here. The return trip would take the same amount of time. So he turned and started walking toward the dungeon exit. When he came out, evening had already fallen. Sitting on the return bus, he checked his class bag. Besides the 3 epic pieces of equipment, there were also many ordinary and excellent quality items inside. Ordinary monsters sometimes dropped equipment too, though most were low quality. Lu Yuan wasn't particularly interested in them. He decided that when he went to sell the epic equipment tomorrow, he would sell these along with them. When Lu Yuan returned home, he saw that the Lu family's house next door was being emptied. Lu Shangshang wasn't there. Only her parents and some movers were present. Seeing Lu Yuan, Uncle Lu came toward him. Just as he was about to enter his house, he called out to him, "Xiao Yuan, wait a moment. I need to talk to you." Lu Yuan hesitated for a moment but finally stopped. Uncle Liu smiled as before and asked, "How are you?" Then he said in a grave voice, "Xiao Yuan, our family has done you wrong in Shangshang's matter. I apologize to you." Saying this, he bowed. Lu Yuan immediately stopped him. He had no complaints against Uncle Liu in his heart. He knew they were now moving to the rich district with Long Hao Chen's help, and honestly, If someone could get a better life, who would want to stay in the slums? Lu Yuan said calmly, "There's no need for you to apologize." After this, they parted ways. That night, he had a simple meal, took a bath, and slept comfortably. The next morning, he headed toward the city's largest commercial district, Professional Plaza. This was the place where all class-related items were traded. Equipment auctions were also held here. This area was completely different from the slums. Magnificent buildings, wide roads, and luxurious shops were visible everywhere. Wearing ordinary clothes, Lu Yuan looked somewhat out of place there, but he didn't care. In this world, the greatest support was power. Whoever had power could obtain everything. He went straight into the building of the city's largest trading organization, the Tianhong Trading Guild. Inside, he went to the reception counter. An employee asked with a professional smile, "Sir, are you looking to buy or sell?" Lu Yuan answered, "Sell." The employee said politely, "Please show us your items. We will give you a satisfactory price." The Tianhong Trading Guild's success was partly due to its excellent service. Their principle was, never underestimate any customer. Because who knows, a person who looks ordinary might actually be extremely powerful. Lu Yuan waved his hand. In an instant, all the items from his bag appeared on the counter, a total of 15 items. 3 of them were shining with bright purple light. The employee's eyes immediately widened. These are epic-level equipment." She was stunned. Since starting her job, she had never seen epic-level equipment. During training, she had heard that a senior employee had received 6 months' salary worth of commission just for buying one epic item, and here were 3 epic items right in front of her. She felt as if a treasure had suddenly appeared before her. Suppressing her excitement, she said, "Sir, please wait a moment. Epic-level equipment will be appraised by our specialists." Lu Yuan nodded. A few minutes later, a middle-aged man arrived. He was wearing gold-rimmed glasses. Behind him were 2 bodyguards. Although Lu Yuan couldn't see their power, he was certain they were powerful people who had already undergone class change. The moment this man arrived, his gaze fixed directly on those 3 epic items. He looked at them carefully for a long time. Then he turned to Lu Yuan and asked, "Young man, are these yours?" "Yes," Lu Yuan answered. The old man looked him up and down. At that time, Lu Yuan had deliberately set his displayed level to 12. The old man couldn't believe that a level 12 person could obtain such equipment. He asked, "Did you obtain these by killing monsters yourself?" Lu Yuan smiled. He had already decided to create a story about a mysterious senior person. In this world, the laws were very loose. If people found out that a low-level person had such expensive equipment, trouble could arise. So he gave a vague answer. The old man nodded. He understood that there must be some powerful person behind this. He smiled and said, "Good. Then we can have a long-term cooperation between us. My name is Song Yi. Yours?" "Lu Yuan." "All right, Lu Yuan. I'll appraise these items now." After this, Song Yi started the appraisal seriously. A while later, he took a deep breath. These are all level 30 epic equipment, and each one is of extremely excellent quality. Their value was far higher than ordinary epic equipment, because these were considered among the best equipment available before the first class change. Finally, the appraisal was complete. Song Yi said in a grave voice, "We will promote these for 3 days. Then we will sell them as the final items in an auction. Starting bid, 1 million. Lu Yuan was satisfied hearing this. He immediately said, "I have no objections." Hearing such a high starting bid, Lu Yuan had no objections. It was the first time he had truly felt how easy it was to earn money when you had enough power. If his father and his companions had succeeded in killing that powerful monster back then, just by selling one piece of equipment, they could have gotten out of the slums. Song went on to say, "After the auction is complete, our trading guild will only take 5% of the total sale price as service fee. You have no objections to this, right?" Lu Yuan shook his head. No. Although he appeared calm on the outside, he was slightly surprised inside. He remembered that under normal circumstances, auction houses took much higher fees. Now only 5% was being taken. It was clear that Song Yi wanted to maintain cooperation in the future too. He had deliberately given him this special discount. After this, Song Yi told the employee, "Prepare a VIP card for Lu Yuan. You'll need it to attend the auction in 3 days, and pay him the value of the remaining equipment now too." "Yes, Mr. Song," the employee answered respectfully. Then Song Yi left with the 3 epic items. A while later, the employee completed the appraisal of the remaining ordinary and excellent quality equipment. Their total value was only 5,000 yuan. Compared to the epic equipment, this was very little. After this, she prepared the VIP card too. When Lu Yuan took the card, he saw that the number on it was 72. Meaning, throughout the entire city, the Tianhong Trading Guild had only issued 72 VIP cards so far. Lu Yuan took the money and card and left. After this, he took a taxi directly to the dungeon zone outside the city. He was going to train again. This time, his target was dungeon zone number 1. Today, he didn't meet anyone familiar on the way. When he arrived there, it was already afternoon. He went straight to a dungeon that had a long line outside it. During school, he had read information about this dungeon. It was a level 10 to 20 dungeon. Inside it, there was also a boss. But the boss wasn't guaranteed. It appeared randomly. Encountering it was entirely up to luck. After yesterday's experience, Lu Yuan had understood that the experience points between bosses and ordinary monsters had a huge difference. If you wanted to level up quickly, hunting bosses was the best way. This was why he had come here. While he was standing in line, a girl came and stood behind him. She looked about his age, probably a recent graduate. Her level was 10. Her personality seemed gentle and calm. She looked like the beloved daughter of some rich family, and in reality, she was. A short while later, a man and a woman came and stood behind her. Both were level 20. They were clearly her bodyguards. Lu Yuan immediately understood. The daughter of some big family had come to gain experience. After understanding the situation, he stopped paying attention and waited peacefully. After quite a while, the person standing in front of him finally entered the dungeon. Now his turn was coming. But just then, the girl behind him called out, "Classmate, 1 minute." Lu Yuan turned. The girl asked, "Are you alone?" "Yes. Is there a problem?" Lu Yuan asked. The girl shook her head. Then she smiled and said, "Entering this dungeon with a 4-person team increases the chance of encountering the boss. Our team originally had 4 people, but 1 person suddenly couldn't make it. You're alone, so would you like to come with us?" Lu Yuan was slightly surprised. So that was the reason. Then he asked jokingly, "You won't even ask what my class is?" The girl smiled. "There's no need. We'll take you along. You just relax and gain experience." Her smile was extremely lovely. Just then, one of the bodyguards behind her also said, "Our young lady is right. In a 4-person team, the chance of encountering the boss is about 90%. You must have learned this in school. You won't even need to fight. Experience will be shared normally. It's just that the boss loot will be ours." Lu Yuan thought for a moment and said, "Joining the team is fine, but I need to be the team leader." Hearing this, the 2 bodyguards frowned and looked at him, because the team leader received additional experience, and giving this right to a stranger wasn't normal. Lu Yuan continued calmly in a calm voice, "You won't lose anything by me being team leader. After this dungeon is over, I can take your young lady to a 2-person dungeon and help her hunt monsters. Is this deal acceptable?" Hearing the girl's words, the bodyguard Wang Hu immediately became dissatisfied. He said in a harsh voice, "Little brother, aren't you asking for too much? Our young lady has kindly given you the opportunity to join the team, and you want to be team leader?" In reality, he wasn't wrong. Others had shown goodwill, but Lu Yuan wanted to take more advantage. However, Lu Yuan wasn't bothered at all. He said calmly, "You won't suffer any loss from me being team leader. After this dungeon ends, I can take your young lady to a 2-person dungeon and help her hunt monsters. Is this deal acceptable?" Hearing this, Wang Hu laughed. You're only level 12. Do you think dungeons are a joke?" But the girl stopped him. She said in a grave voice, "Wang Hu, listen to him." Wang Hu was stunned. He couldn't understand why the young lady was making this decision. The girl looked at Lu Yuan again and said, "I can make you team leader, but inside the dungeon you'll have to prove your ability. If you can't prove that you can take me to a 2-person dungeon, then taking back the benefits you gained today won't be difficult for us." Lu Yuan smiled. "No problem." But at that same moment, a thought crossed his mind. Shen family. Suddenly, he remembered something. The founder of the Tianhang Trading Guild was also named Shen Hang. He felt that this girl might be related to that family. At that same moment, he felt someone's gaze on him from afar, as if someone was hiding and watching this entire incident. This made his guess even stronger. The girl smiled and asked, "By the way, my name is Shafair. Your name?" Lu Yuan answered briefly, "Lu Yuan." After this, the 4 of them reached the dungeon entrance. This dungeon was Misty Mountain, Mid Mountain, recommended level 20, solo mode, duo mode, multi-person mode. Lu Yuan chose multi-person mode. An interface appeared before him. Team leader Lu Yuan, level 12, S-rank talisman specialist. Team members, empty, empty, empty. He selected the invite option. First, he added Shafair to the team. Immediately, new details appeared. Team leader Lu Yuan, level 12, S-rank talisman specialist. Team member Shafair, level 10, SS rank divine healer. When Shafar saw Lu Yuan's class, her face hardened for a moment. It was clear she was surprised too, but she didn't change her decision. She thought, if Lu Yuan doesn't perform well inside, they can settle the score later. After this, Lu Yuan also added Wang Hu and the other bodyguard to the team. Team member Wang Hu, level 20, S-rank Great Swordsman. Zhang Wu, level 20, S-rank Dual-Wield Specialist. The moment they joined the team, they also saw Lu Yuan's class. Their faces immediately changed, but before they could say anything, Lu Yuan confirmed entry. The next moment, all 4 people were inside Misty Mountain. Dense fog was spread all around. Between the mountains, packs of wolves were roaming, and the final boss of this dungeon was a giant tiger. But that tiger roamed throughout the entire mountain range. Finding it wasn't easy. Each team was sent to different mountain areas after entering. If the tiger was in that area, they would have the chance to kill it. Otherwise, they would have to kill ordinary wolves and exit. Looking at the fog-covered mountains around him, Lu Yuan started thinking, if each team has a 90% chance of encountering the boss, that means there isn't just one, but multiple bosses present here. At that moment, Wang Hu mocked again. Lu Yuan, you talked so big. I thought your class would be something special, but you turned out to be just a talisman specialist. Now show us what you can do. Shafar was also watching him quietly. The same question was in her eyes. Lu Yuan answered, let's move up the mountain. Then you'll understand everything on your own. Saying this, he moved straight ahead. He didn't like wasting time in arguments. At that moment, a thought crossed Shafar's mind. Is this person really as powerful as he seems? Wang Hu and Zhang Wu also followed behind him. After covering some distance, 2 level 16 black wolves were seen running toward them. Black smoke-like energy was coming from their bodies. Finding level 16 monsters at the foot of the mountain was quite satisfying to Lu Yuan. He didn't waste time. He raised his hand and threw 2 explosive talismans toward the wolves. Boom, boom! 2 loud explosions occurred. Both black wolves immediately fell to the ground. Level 16 black wolf killed. 30 experience obtained. Level 16 black wolf killed. 30 experience obtained. Shafar and the other 2 had just arrived, but they saw that Lu Yuan had killed both wolves in a single moment. The 3 of them also received experience points, but at this moment, the experience points weren't important. The important thing was that Lu Yuan had eliminated 2 level 16 monsters in one strike. Wang Hu's face changed color, because he himself couldn't do this so easily. Shafar asked in surprise, which talisman did you just use? Don't talisman specialists need to prepare talismans and chant mantras first? Lu Yuan smiled. I prepared these in advance.